You wake up in America, surrounded by millions of people, and still feel like nobody would notice if you disappeared for a day. Not because you're alone, but because no one is really there. You grab coffee on the way to work. The barista smiles, asks, "How are you?" You say, "Good." They say, "Have a nice day." And that's it. That's the most human interaction some people get before 6 p.m. This is the loneliness epidemic in America, and it doesn't look the way you think. Here's what's crazy. America has more freedom, more technology, more entertainment than ever. Netflix, DoorDash, Uber, Amazon. You barely need another human to survive anymore. You don't need to talk to anyone to eat, travel, work, or relax. Everything is convenient, except connection. People think loneliness means having no friends. Wrong. Some of the loneliest Americans have busy jobs, packed calendars, and phones full of contacts. They laugh at work, joke in group chats, post smiling photos, and then go home to silence. Think about a normal weekday. You wake up early, rush through traffic, sit next to people you barely know, talk about work, weather, or weekend plans you might cancel anyway. You scroll during breaks, scroll at lunch, scroll before sleep. You're surrounded by faces all day, but no one really asks, "Are you actually okay?" And here's where it gets uncomfortable. America teaches independence like it's a religion. Handle it yourself. Don't be needy. Stay strong. So people stop reaching out. They don't want to be a burden. They don't want to look weak. They don't want to bother anyone who already looks busy. Slowly, everyone pulls back, waiting for someone else to make the first move. Now here's the suspenseful part nobody talks about. Most Americans don't feel lonely because no one is around. They feel lonely because they don't feel important to anyone. If they disappeared from work for a week, emails would still be answered. If they stopped texting, group chats would keep going. If they vanished from social media, the algorithm wouldn't care. And that thought sits quietly in the back of the mind. Does anyone actually need me? So people fill the silence with noise, more shows, more scrolling, more late-night snacks, more "I'm fine." But loneliness doesn't go away by staying busy. It gets louder when everything finally slows down. Here's a real example. When was the last time you had a conversation in America that didn't feel rushed? No phones, no multitasking, no checking the time, just talking. Most people can't remember. And now for the shocking truth. Loneliness is killing Americans faster than stress, faster than burnout, faster than overwork. But no one treats it like an emergency because it's quiet. There's no siren, no warning sign, just people slowly feeling less seen, less valued, less connected. The scariest part? You can live an entire life in America, go to school, get a job, pay bills, retire, and never feel truly known by anyone. That's not a personal failure. That's a lifestyle problem. And if this video feels uncomfortably accurate, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you're living in a system that makes isolation feel normal. Loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about feeling invisible in a crowded country. And the moment Americans stop pretending they're fine and start choosing real conversations over convenience, this epidemic finally loses its grip. Until then, millions of people will keep scrolling, smiling, and silently hoping someone notices they're still here.